Oh wait, that's not gonna work. That's better. So what's the worst idea you've ever had? Think about that. We've all had our fair share of bad ideas, and it's part of being human. We have some good ones and then not so good ones, and we try to avoid the bad ones by simply not executing on them. It's fine to have a bad idea. We all have them all the time. I think I have more bad ideas than most people. And this morning I had another bad idea. But this time around, I'm not going to avoid it. I'm actually going to execute on it. You probably already know what my bad idea is just by reading the title of this video. Right, let's go. So what's the plan? The plan is to spend one night on one of these mountains without a sleeping bag or a tent or a sleeping mat or any special clothing. I've only got this little bag with me, my hiking stick and my cameras, that's it. In my bag I have a little bit of food and a little bit of water, kind of what you'd expect to have in your bag if you went for a little day hike anyway. So I'm trying to simulate a situation that happens more often than you might think. Someone went on a day hike by themselves. They only brought a little bit of food and water to last for the hike. Now they find themselves in the mountain, and for whatever reason, they need to overnight. The question is, how do you survive? So hopefully you'll have a space blanket in your little bag, and tonight we'll see how well that space blanket will do in actually keeping you alive. Man, I hope this works. It's getting very dark very quickly. The mist just started to pull over the mountain, and this is becoming a real situation. I mean, if I didn't know these trails, I would legitimately be lost. If you don't have a torch or a headlamp, you have to spend the night. So I've got some good news and I've got some other news. The good news is we made it to the highest point in our vicinity. We're currently at about 800 meters above sea level. We started hiking at sea level, which means we climbed 800 meters. The other news is it's not misty anymore. It might mean that it's going to be colder tonight. Yeah, so I'm getting pretty cold already. I'm going to see if I can get something on me. I only have a windbreaker and a fleece jacket. That's all I brought with me. As far as clothes go, I don't have a hat or anything to keep my head warm. 5 minutes of preparation before you start sleeping can be the difference between a comfortable or a terrible night's sleep. So don't be scared to take your time when preparing your spot for the night. Now this blanket cost me 10 rand, 10 South African rands. That's less than $1. That's probably like 70 cents. And it's very thin. The wind is blowing, you can see the wind is blowing quite a bit. So I have to be careful not to lose this. That would be terrible. I'm sorry if you're struggling to hear me. That actually works quite well, I think. So one thing that I'm noticing just by using this face blanket now is that it's very hard to manage. It's so thin and light, especially in the wind. It flaps around a lot and it's difficult to really pin down. It's so flappy and noisy, goodness. I don't even know if I'll be able to sleep with this noise. It's extremely noisy. But I definitely feel the heat difference. Look, this is not comfortable. But as long as I can just doze off, I should be fine. Good night. Hopefully I'll fall asleep and see you later. You won't believe what just happened. I had a dream, and in my dream I was busy swimming, but then I ended up kicking in reality and I tore my space blanket in two. So now I have two small pieces. It's currently 3 degrees Celsius, but the good news is the wind has died down. So I don't have to worry about the flapping and the moving of the space blanket anymore. I can just sleep. I think I might have accidentally invented something. You see this rope wrapped around my legs and back? This is called the Brown's Loop. I just invented it like 2 hours ago. It's just a piece of rope that I tied off, and it allows me to relax my body. So I can just relax my legs and my back, and I don't have to strain to keep my body upright in the sitting position. I can even sleep like this. I've already slept about an hour in this position. It's very uncomfortable, so I don't think I'm gonna patent this invention. It's now 6:30, but it's still completely dark. I just woke up with a hectic cramp in my leg because of the cold. I'll have to wait at least another half an hour to an hour before I'll be able to hike down, just because it's so dark still. So what did we learn from this whole exercise? Well, number one, space blankets should only be used in survival situations. Yes, you'll survive the night, but it's definitely not a substitute for a good sleeping bag or a tent. Number two, get the biggest space blanket you possibly can. The one that I had was only 2 by 1.1 meters, and that was way too small. If I had something that was double that size, that would probably be nice. Number three is that they're probably not very good for the environment. After a couple of hours of using them, they tend to tear, and sometimes pieces will tear off and just blow off into the wind. And obviously you don't want to leave that plastic out here in the wild. If you've enjoyed watching this video, I'm sure you'll enjoy some of my other videos, like this one where I camped in snow without a tent. And like always, please remember to subscribe and like this video. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one. Cheers.